We're with head coach and general manager Derek Lalonde. We're inside the locker room here. And Derek, tough loss on Wednesday night. What are some things, though? Is there anything that you can take to build off of that loss?
We did do some good things throughout. I like the fact that we battled back a couple times in the first period after giving up goals. But again, I think that was more of our mental approach wasn't there. It showed in the fact that they scored early in the game, then they scored in the last minute. And it's a sign of our immaturity not to take those points in the game with such urgency, and that's cost us. And those timing of goals really are huge with momentum swings. And you saw it. They scored early, they scored late in the period, and they scored early in the second, and that was the difference in the game.
And talk a little bit about that. As a hockey team, scoring first, is that pivotal in a game? Is that important? I mean, you can't just keep coming back game after game. You really want to get out there and jump out to a good start.
No doubt. It's something we've talked about, something we want to get better at. It's our mental focus approach to the game. And we haven't scored first in many games this year, and it's a sign of us not being mentally ready. So it's something we'll continually work on, hopefully get better at.
And for Mike Rotolo, a tough game for him. Let 4 goals on 8 shots. What do you say to him coming off the ice to get him back focused and rejuvenated coming up because he's going to be an important piece if this Green Bay Gamblers team is going to make the playoffs and make a run?
Mike's got to play with confidence and compete. He's had a habit of giving up some goals early in the game and not bouncing back from those goals, letting that affect his entire performance. And this was the case. He gives up a goal early on. Not a bad goal. It was a defensive breakdown. But then his whole body language, his confidence, he was deep in his net the rest of the period. And he ended up giving up 4 goals and 8 shots, as you said. And no team is going to win when you get a performance like that from your goaltender.
Let's talk about injuries. Right now, Alex Kyle took a puck off the face. I saw him walking around. A couple stitches. He looks like he was back in the game. Tough kid. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he's fine. Flesh wound. Hockey all the time. He got stitched up between periods. Nick Schilke got a couple stitches on the chin. Typical hockey stuff. Those guys will be fine.
And then, of course, Matt Weiss. I saw him walking around on crutches. Took a awkward hit in the boards. Legal hit. But just kind of twisted that ankle. What's his status?
He's getting an X-ray right now as we speak during practice, and it was bad. He was in a lot of pain and hasn't responded very well from the injury in the last 24 hours. So obviously we'll see what the doctors say and go from there.
Moving forward, though, to the World Junior Challenge, you're an assistant coach. Congratulations. And looking at the 3 players coming from the Green Bay Gamblers roster, pretty easy decision to put those 3 on there: Sheldon Dries, Nicholas Schilke, and, of course, Alex Kyle. I guess you being on the committee to pick this team, what went into your decisions to pick certain players, and what did you like as a coaching staff with Brett Larson about these 3 players?
Well, it was a very thorough process. It wasn't very easy. This league is very deep, and obviously we considered all the leagues in America, the junior leagues, and we ended up choosing a kid from the Eastern Junior Hockey League to add on to the roster. So we want speed. We want kids that can compete. You know, Amato's been with that team the last few years to push the pace. And I think our 3 players, Dries, Schilke, and Kyle, fit that mold. And I think they like that those players brought some experience, already a year of experience, a year's successful experience in USHL. And those guys have some continuity. They've played together, and I think we're going to start with them together and see how that goes throughout the tournament.
And then on the Gambler side of things, and what our fans want to know, what your thoughts are about the depth of this team moving forward, of course. From November 5th to the 11th, Dries, Schilke, and Kyle are going to be gone. You have Gallagher suspended. You have Matt Weiss now kind of in a walking boot. And, of course, Kyle Chatham, a guy that we kind of forget about. He's on IR right now. It could be an important part, but he's at home right now nursing a broken leg. So where do you see the depth of this team moving forward? And are you going to have to call up some affiliate players to fill some of the voids?
Well, our depth is going to be challenged. It's being challenged right now with our injuries. We've got man games lost with suspensions, and then obviously we lose those 3 players for the World Junior Challenge. So our depth is going to be challenged, and we're going to have to rely on our affiliate list just to field a full roster. So it's a challenge. Everyone goes through it. We're going through it right now. I think it's adversity that's healthy, and I think once we get through this, get healthy, I like where this team can be in the second half of the year.
2 last questions for you. Caps for Cancer game coming up this Saturday night. Overall, coming into the last home game here in October, I know you got a couple on the road, but what's your assessment so far of October in the first month and a week of the season of this team?
Now, it's been a roller coaster, what we expected, and we kind of knew it was going to be like this with our young defense, with our inexperience in goal. Then you add the injuries, and unfortunately the suspensions on top of it. It's been very challenging. With that said, we've seen some highs. I mean, the past 3 games, there's a perfect window. We played very good in Waterloo, come up a little bit short. We played very good in Cedar Rapids and win. And we come back and not play very well on a Wednesday night home versus Indiana. And against a sign of our immaturity, and we have to take that next step of being a lot more consistent.
And one last lighter note, with the Caps for Cancer game coming up on Saturday, the team, the 4 players went out early this morning, went out to local schools, shaved their heads in front of thousands of kids. And then you have the other ones who shaved their heads, the rest of the team shaved their heads at the Rush Center lobby. What does it say about the maturity of this team as young gentlemen to really put themselves second, and really, shave their head? And it's a small gesture, but to let cancer patients know that they're thinking of them, that's got to show a lot of maturity as young gentlemen on this team.
Well, we talk about it often, how we're very fortunate to be very significant within this community, and we're going to give back anytime we can. And this was a great example where something like this is bigger than any individual or team and bigger than us as an organization. And I was very proud of our guys and their willingness to do a gesture like that, and it went very well today. I'm looking forward to that game Saturday night.
All right, thanks, Derek.